Do you know how to choose a suit? If you're anything like me, probably no one in your life has taught you how to choose out a suit. My father never did it for me. So I actually got one of my really close friends, Hung. He's the owner of Style Hungry. And he actually measures me for a custom suit, and I get a chance to kind of shoot him some questions that I've always had kind of selecting a suit. Now stay tuned, this video is quite long, so make sure you kick back, relax, and set about 30 minutes to watch this video. Anyways guys, you have any questions for Hung, please leave them below. Maybe we'll do a part 2. And you can find Hung's information below in the description as well. Otherwise, enjoy the video, and make sure if you reach out to Hung, tell him that Kevin sent you. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Guys, what's going on? Today I got this QLA folder, and you might be asking yourself, what is QLA? Well, if you're into BDSM for business, basically that's what it is. My home, Dan Pena, I'm going to Dan Pena's castle in December. So one of the things I want to do was actually get my boy Hung.
Hey, how's it going?
So he's a, what do you call yourself, a style?
I call myself a menswear image consultant.
Sure, yeah. So basically, I don't want to get yelled at by Dan Pena for not like looking good. And plus, Dan Pena wants to get me to get fitted for my collar and jacket and kilt for graduation in Scotland. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And plus, Hung also brought some, did you bring some samples too?
Yeah, I brought some sample fabrics. We can go ahead and measure you out and get you a good suit.
Yeah, and we can probably talk about how do you go about picking out a good suit, because I have no freaking clue. This guy is the man.
I do.
Yeah.
I'll help him out.
Yeah. Have you ever worked with any big people so far?
Actually no. I've been working with a lot of like average size, like skinny people. But
definitely I'm not that like skinny and stuff like that.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Cool. Let's get into it, man.
All right.
This is a really nice pen. Where'd you get it?
Oh yeah, it's actually just a cross pen that you can get from Office Depot.
Okay.
So for $25, about $25, $30, you can get something that's really nice. It's got a good weight.
So right now, what is this, Hung? Like,
that is a form that I will fill out with all of your measurements and also some of your options.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hung, what are we doing now? Now
we're gonna go ahead and measure you out, you know, get your shoulder width, get your sleeves.
Cool, awesome. I don't want to go 1990s, look like the old hip-hop videos with like with my
not too baggy and all that. All right, so let's go ahead and get your shoulders. Cool. So here.
How'd you get into this anyways?
Yeah, so I started this actually, my menswear interest started in high school, where I was, you know, sort of wearing the same old clothes.
Yeah.
Didn't really try to experiment too much, and then at some point I thought, you know, I should get into better stylish looking clothes.
Yeah.
So there was this time where I had this white jacket.
Yeah.
And I kept wearing it all the time.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend got tired of it, so then she's like, hey, you should go buy something else, because there's holes on the elbow parts.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole bunch of bad things going on with that jacket, so I'd rather you wear something else that looks a little bit nicer.
Yo, vintage, bro.
Yeah. So I went ahead, I got a little butthurt from that.
Yeah.
And we started, I'm gonna check your wrist. But I started looking around, and I saw Antonio Centeno from Real Men Real Style. He is a menswear person on YouTube, and it was something that I really had an interest in.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started. And you know, I just learned a little bit about men's fashion, men's style.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I thought, you know, I could do this as a hobby. Yeah. So I helped a lot of my college friends with interviews and picking out suits and stuff for interviews. And that's how I started out.
Yeah.
And now I have suits.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of your friends like consultants and stuff like that?
Yes.
Chest, what do I need to do with my chest?
Just go ahead and raise your arms, and then I'm gonna go around.
Alright.
Here. And then go ahead and put them down. Okay. And then I'm just gonna get a chest measurement.
Okay.
So, alright, go ahead and raise them up. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been at it for?
What do you mean?
Like been doing this for?
I've been an image consultant for about, I'd say plus or minus 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a tailor reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do suiting.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and tried one of their suits,
Yeah.
see if I really liked them, if they're a really good suit supplier or not, and turns out they make really good suits. So I partnered with them, and now I provide suits for them in the Bay Area.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Bay Area. What's the difference between doing something like this versus like an off-the-rack suit for a lot of guys?
Yeah, so with off-the-rack suits, you sort of get what they give you, right? So sometimes they don't have certain options that you like,
Yeah.
and then sometimes they give you what you want. It depends on, you know, what kind of options you want, what lapel you want, the fabrics. Most of the time off the rack might not be 100% wool.
Yeah.
And all my suits are 100% wool because it's one of the most ideal fabrics that you want in a suit.
Why is that important? 100% wool.
Because if you have a blend of polyester is a really good cost-effective fabric, but it is flammable and it doesn't, yes. So if you ever are next to a fire,
Yeah.
you're actually gonna catch on fire, but with wool you can sort of pat it off. It'll start catching on fire, but then it won't be like bursting in flames.
Yeah.
So that's the main difference. And also polyester is not as breathable.
Yeah.
So let's say you're in hot summer weather, it's actually better to wear wool or a wool
Gotcha.
blend.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
Waist. So basically where your suit pants are gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say about here is where you would wear your pants.
Okay. Do you need me to pull it down though?
No, that's fine.
You want me to take off my pants off?
No, you're good.
Are you sure? I can. I can really take off my pants.
No,
off.
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, no, this is
I
perfect.
insist, man.
This is perfect. Alright, 93.5. And then now for your hips. Gotta see them hips.
Alright. Whoa, Hung, what are you doing there? Other than like 100% wool, what are some unique things that you can only get with custom that you'll never find with off the rack, I guess?
So just one stylish thing is that you can get actual real buttons on your sleeves. So it doesn't make that much of a difference, but when you actually see it, you can unbutton them. And what I like to do is I get 4 buttons on the sleeve, and then I unbutton the very last button. It's the same concept of, you know, when you wear a suit jacket, you don't button the last button, right?
Yeah.
So it just gives it that stylish flair. And then there's some options like you can have a pen pocket for your own pen.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So if you're walking around, you know, you don't want to carry your pen in your pockets, or like there's a risk of you losing it, putting it into a bigger pocket. There's actually a pen pocket in my suits.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. And did you start a YouTube channel recently and all that?
Yeah, so I'm trying to start a YouTube channel right now. I'm not trying to build it up too much, but it's more for like informational things, things that help my clients, because I do have image consulting clients, where I help them build their wardrobe and I help them pick out outfits. So with my YouTube channel, I'm trying to let them learn how to pick their own styles, how to match their own things, because that's what I really want to do. Is I just want to educate my clients on how to dress and how to use clothing to their best potential.
Yeah, so how did you kind of like go through the school of hard knocks and learn all this sort of stuff, man?
Yeah, it was just a lot of YouTube watching and a lot of article reading. So whenever something popped up in my head about like, what's the best suit fabric? What's cotton versus wool? I just look it up and then sort of take my own notes and try and gather and learn more about menswear. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. How many hours do you think you've kind of spent like researching and learning?
I would say I have 3 years of academic reading.
Wow. Nerd.
3 years, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, it goes to show you it takes a long time to kind of learn this stuff, you know?
Yeah. 66.5. We're gonna do the infamous crotch measurement now.
What's the crotch measurement?
So it's not.
Let me go down here.
So the way I do my crotch measurement is I ask the client to hold this where their belt would be, so right on the top of your pants. And then what I do is I pull this, and then I pull it up right there, and then I take the measurement. So it's not as bad as you think, but
Yeah.
some people actually hold both of them. So
Hold both?
Yeah, they hold both. So they'll hold the front and the back, and they'll give you a wedgie. All right, you can let go.
That's
There,
cool.
there you go.
Awesome. Crotch measurement. Actually, this is like maybe my second time ever being like having my measurements ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's see, your knees right here.
yeah. Sure you don't want me to take off my pants, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine. You're good where you are.
It's funny your girlfriend's laughing in the back.
Yeah. Leg inseam. Okay, here's another one where I need you to hold it. So there is a V in your pants. I want you to sort of pull it up so that the seam's where it's supposed to be. And then go ahead and hold this at the center where the V is.
Where the V is?
Yeah.
Like
Right there, yeah.
Right here?
Right there. And then I'm just gonna take the measurement to your heel.
Okay.
Yep. All right, go ahead and let go.
When you first, do you still remember the first time you took measurements?
Hmm?
Do you still remember the first time you took measurements?
Oh yeah, it was with one of my clients. So I didn't really have a system back then,
Yeah.
and I had to figure out a way to measure him somewhere. So I ended up just reserving a spot at our local library, and literally it was in a meeting room with all glass walls.
Yeah.
And I was just measuring him out, and everyone would be walking by looking at what we're doing. So that was my first measurement time. All right, last measurement is the cuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do this, and then we should be all set to go. Good. Got it.
Awesome.
All right, and that's basically it.
Cool.
Now on to fabrics and options.
Sweet.
Okay. Now, let's go ahead and go through, height, weight, age, and
Okay.
watch hand. So, you
Watch
got it that
hand.
time.
What's
Yeah.
a watch hand?
Just
Oh, the
wear-
opposite? Okay.
Yeah, just which hand you wear your watch. That's more for like dress shirts, but it's good to just have that.
Hey, Hung, does my age affect my size of my suit now?
Yes, it does.
Really?
They sort of. So my tailor has different profiles for each age.
Yeah.
And then they sort of use this algorithm to sort of best fit the cuts.
Sweet.
So yeah, if you know how shirts are made, they have like pieces, right? And then they sew them together.
Yeah.
Same thing with designer bags. So someone's gonna go into AutoCAD or like some visualizing software, and they're gonna adjust it based off of the profile. So your height is gonna get considered, your weight's gonna get considered, and also your age.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, I wonder how age, like, if I was like 90 years old versus like 20 years old, what's the difference?
Yeah, I actually don't know. That's all AI stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It's pretty crazy. All right, so I think that's it, and then we can go ahead and look at some of the fabrics I have.
Sweet.
So we can go ahead and start with, let's see. We can go ahead and start with these. So these are Super 120s wool.
What are Super 120s?
So Supers is a measurement of the fineness of the wool.
Yeah.
So it's a little opposite, where Super 120s is a very thick fabric,
Yeah.
and Super 150s is a very thin fabric.
Yeah.
So they work a little opposite from the numbers.
Okay, so the higher the number, the thicker, right?
The thinner.
Thinner.
Yes.
Higher number, thinner. Okay.
Yes. Lower number is thicker.
Okay, it's just like needle gauges. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you can go ahead and look through some of these options.
All right.
But what are you looking for, really?
I don't really know anything about suits or
Do you have
anything like
a
that.
suit right now that you currently wear?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What color is it?
It's black.
It's black.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you want something like in a navy color at this point, or maybe like a maroon. But I think since you have a black suit, you might want a charcoal gray or a navy. So
Charcoal gray sounds pretty sick.
yeah, charcoal gray is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good color. So we can go ahead and go through the charcoal grays.
Cool. What are the top? If you had 3 colors that you had to, 3 color suits, what are your top 3 that you would recommend to most people?
For the average professional, I would recommend charcoal gray because it's very versatile.
Okay.
Navy is after that, and then depending on how adventurous you are, you can go ahead and do a beige suit, or you can get a patterned charcoal or navy suit.
Yeah.
So something with like checks or something with stripes.
Yeah.
For example, in the law and finance industry, a lot of people like pinstripe. Here, let me show you an example of a pinstripe.
Yeah.
But something like this, where you have very fine lines, and it's very well known. This pattern is very well known in the industry, and most of the time, a lot of professionals in that industry wear it because it sort of portrays like competence in the field.
Gotcha.
Yep. Just like how people wear lab coats
Yeah.
as pharmacists or like as R&D people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I have some of these crazier things, right? But then we can go ahead and look for some charcoal.
All right.
Let's see. There are some 2 good options right here. Right there. So I have these 2 options.
Okay. So which option? This
This
top
is the
one?
charcoal gray, yeah. So we
Cool.
have this one.
Yeah.
And then we also have this shade. So you
Okay.
can see the subtle difference. It might not be on camera, but this one's a little darker and black. This one is a little bit more gray.
Yeah. Which one do I like more? I honestly, I'll be honest with you, I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, it's all about personal preference, right?
Yeah.
So the weaves are a little different. If
Yeah.
you look very closely, like if we had a microscope,
Yeah.
this is very uniform,
Yeah.
right? You see like most of the thread and the fabric is really black, but when
Yeah.
you look at this one, there's some
Ah, I see.
minor
Yeah.
shades of lighter gray and darker gray.
Yeah. I'm I like this one a little bit more.
Yeah, you like the solid?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and just start off with that for the fabrics.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So now we go for lining.
Yeah.
So let me just write.
What's the lining?
Lining is the inside of your suit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, so this is gonna be the outside, and then on the inside, it's most of the time just like a personal thing where
Yeah.
a lot of people won't see, but some people like showing off. Like I have some options you'll see in a bit.
Okay,
Of
cool.
some linings.
So we'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Go ahead and-
So these are all the linings that we have?
Yep.
Wow.
There's a lot.
There
Depending
is.
on what you want, we have
Yeah.
everything.
What would you recommend in a typical like for lining, or is
Yeah.
it just really personal preference?
It's most of the time it's really personal, but some linings that I recommend for your first suit is very
Yeah.
subtle. So that's gonna be more on the left side of this.
yeah.
where
Not
we
this
have-
crazy like.
Yeah, that's for your 3rd or 4th suit, right?
Yeah.
But for this first suit, usually, you know, I work with a lot of young professionals and
Yeah.
real estate agents, CPAs, so
Yeah.
they want to start off with something subtle. So we have some of these solid colors right here,
Yeah.
and then we have some paisley. This gives it a little bit more flair, but it's still subtle enough to use in a professional setting.
Gotcha.
And then sometimes people go over here.
Yeah.
This one's a pretty good one, but the most popular one that I get with my clients are these paisley options.
Really?
Yeah. It looks
Interesting.
really nice.
Really?
So what I recommend for you
Yeah.
would be with this charcoal gray suit
Yep.
would be this purple paisley actually.
Really?
Yeah. It actually looks really nice together.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's take a recommendation, bro.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. That'll be 15.
Yeah.
And then now for buttons.
Buttons.
Yeah, I'll be 15. So here's all the button options I have.
Okay.
You can go ahead and see that there's a good variety of buttons that you can use. A lot of them are tortoise or they're horn, and most of the time I recommend something a little bit darker. So you can see there's different shades of brown and there's different styles here.
Yeah.
But what I recommend is usually the darker ones on your first suit, or maybe just like a simple black button like these two right here.
Yeah.
For your suit, you might want, let's see, let me just think about this real quick. So charcoal gray with purple paisley, you might want a black button with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black button's more muted, it's more professional.
Yeah.
Right? There's less contrast, so then there's not a lot of focus on the buttons. It's more focused on the person itself.
Ah, gotcha.
So you want it a little bit more muted. So we're gonna go with either a really dark brown or a completely black button.
Okay.
With this one.
Cool.
So for this, I'd probably recommend let's do a black button.
Okay.
With this one.
What's the difference between this one and like this button over here? What's the
they're
difference?
just very slight difference
Oh,
in style.
the
ridges, yeah, the edges
yeah.
and stuff. You can
Yeah.
sort of see it.
And when would somebody do a crazy one like this sort of button? I guess.
So for that, it's usually a statement piece. So when you're trying to do something with high contrast,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a suit with a different color than this. So
Uh-huh.
maybe something in the yellow, like brown area, and then you would have something contrasting, which is like blue buttons or a teal button like this.
Love it. Cool.
Yeah.
How about these? What are these small buttons up
Those
top?
are actually for shirts.
Shirts, dress shirts and stuff like that.
Yep. Just those are for dress shirts, and then you can see that they have some similar stylings to the suit and button shirts. So
Uh-huh.
if you really wanted to, you can make your own shirt and sort of complement it with the suit.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So we'll just do. Do you want to do the black one then?
Yeah, let's do the black one. Let's
All
go
right.
with your rec.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, you know, when you're in the kitchen, you like, and you're asking for chef, what's good, man. You listen to them, man. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
All right. And then let's go ahead and do your options.
Feels good.
Just for precaution, I just at some point I said I'd try to get out of engineering,
Yeah.
but let's just cut that part out.
Okay.
Just in case.
He's definitely the engineer.
Yeah, I'm trying to quit engineering.
Sorry, I'm over.
Yeah. Let's see. So these are just suit options, suit jacket options.
Yeah.
What we have here is the button style. So what kind of buttons you want. We have the slim fit option. We have the lapel style. We'll go through that. And then here's the sleeve style I was talking about. You can get 4 buttons and then you can have them as functional buttons as well.
What's the functional buttons?
Functional buttons means that you can actually unbutton them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you go to a lot of stores and you check the off the rack options and you try to unbutton the sleeves, they won't because they're fake.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so with these, you can sort of unbutton them yourself, and it helps when it's like really hot in the summer and you're starting to sweat on your forearms.
Yeah.
You can actually just unbutton these, and then you'll get more ventilation and some air going
Love it.
to your sleeves.
Cool.
Yeah. And then, you know, your standard pocket options, what kind of vents you want, and then if you want a vest, you can also make this a 3-piece suit.
Yeah. Also, like with the vents and stuff, is there a rule of thumb for like that type of stuff?
Yeah, so the less vents you have, the more structure you're gonna hold, but it's gonna be tighter on you. So since it's going to restrict your the way that you move,
Yeah.
if you're trying to have a suit for, let's say, like a conference, or you're moving around a lot in your suit, you're doing a lot of motion, maybe like in a video, or if you're out and walking around a lot,
Yeah.
you'd want a double vent.
Yeah.
Right here, where there's two slits that sort of separate the bottom part.
Yeah.
That helps you move around more because it's more free flowing and you don't have like just a whole one piece of fabric around your waist. Yeah. So then the next step would be a center vent where it'll give you more structure, but it also restricts your movement.
Yeah.
And then you can go super extreme with no vent. And I usually don't recommend that one,
Yeah.
but most of the time I recommend center vent and double vent.
Center vent and double vent.
Yep.
Which one's more popular in the clients that you serve?
So for the clients I serve, they mostly do double vent because they can move a lot more and
Yeah.
it's a little bit more breathable because, you know, when you're moving around, the 2 vents sort of open up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they let airflow through the back of your suit.
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So this one, it's gonna take a little bit longer to just sort of walk through. But
Okay.
I can give you recommendations.
Yeah.
So I would recommend, you know, the typical traditional 2-button suit. And then depending, do you want flashy? Are you a flashy kind of guy, or are you sort of subtle?
I can't.
Are you
I
a
don't know.
Dan Locke? Are you a
not
Dan
like-
Locke? Or are you a Gary V?
I'm more of a Gary V, bro.
Okay, more chill.
Yeah.
All right. So that would be a notch lapel. That's your standard. That's your standard lapel that you mostly see a lot of people wear.
Yeah.
Peak lapel is a little bit more edgy.
Yeah.
It instead of sort of just like 90-degreeing downwards, it will actually point upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes
So
sense.
we'll go ahead and do notch lapel.
Okay, cool. Which kind of suit do they wear in like Mad Men and shit?
I don't know. I haven't watched Mad Men actually.
Really?
Yeah, I have not.
Okay, cool.
But we can go ahead and do that. You're probably gonna just want regular and irregular. A lot of people do 3 buttons, but I really like 4 buttons with the functional buttons. That way you can unbutton the first one.
Yeah.
The very last one.
So you unbutton this very
Yes,
bottom.
that very bottom one, and then it sort of gives you a stylish look to it. That's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
And then for suit pockets, you do 2 pockets with no flaps on them. The flaps give it a more vintage look.
Yeah.
And if you want a modern look, then you wouldn't want flaps on the front of your pockets so that it's more seamless and it doesn't obstruct the structure of the suit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And obviously you want a chest pocket, right?
This looks like a lab coat, bro. From pharmacy.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
So we can go ahead and do that. I'll write those down. But those are probably the options you want for your jacket.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now on to the pants.
The pants.
The pants.
Cool.
Right, so we have pocket options. We have your waist options right here.
Yeah.
So what I'd recommend for you, depending on what you're using this for.
Yeah.
But let's say you sit down a lot and you have your phone in your pockets a lot or your wallets in the front pockets.
Yeah.
You would probably want a straight pocket because it keeps the pocket sealed because of how it's structured versus a slanted pocket.
Yeah.
The time that I would pick a slanted pocket is if you prefer being able to access your pocket more frequently versus a straight pocket. Straight pocket is more for securing your stuff in your pants or your pant pockets.
Yeah.
And then slanted pocket is more for accessibility.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Are there any professions that use straight versus slanted a lot more?
It's more about personal preference, right?
Okay.
So for straight pockets, it'll keep things in your pockets easier when you sit down.
Yeah.
But it makes it harder for you to put your hands in your pockets.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For slanted pockets, there's a little bit less material.
Yeah.
So then it makes it more accessible and you don't have fabric sort of like pushing up against your wrist.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And then this is more personal preference. A regular strap and then extended strap for your waistband. We can go ahead and just do the regular strap for you.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Pleats is for extra fabric on the thigh area. I don't think you need that.
Okay.
That's more for just like people with more bulkier thighs.
Yeah.
And if they sit down, the fabric might pull, so then they need a little bit more extra fabric.
Yeah.
That's what pleats are for.
You're saying that I don't hit leg day, bro?
All right, so back pockets.
All right.
Probably 2 buttons, no pockets.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my clients, they don't like the feeling of sitting down and then all of a sudden they feel like that button poking at them.
Yeah, that's happening.
So a lot of my clients really like having 2 pockets with no buttons.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then for pant cuffs, probably gonna do no pant cuffs.
Okay.
It's more of a stylish thing, but traditionally I would do no pant cuffs just as a traditional thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, and that's it.
Cool. Hey, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So, like for most millennials, if you're to do a cookie cutter type of like style, like options, right? What do you think most millennials would you recommend for a majority of millennials?
Yeah, most millennials.
For a suit.
Yeah, for a suit, I would recommend single 2-button. You have your notch lapel and standard everything. So for sleeve style, I would use 3 buttons, 2 pockets, no flaps, a center vent. And then for pants, I'd recommend slanted pocket, regular strap, no pleats, 2 pockets, no buttons, and no pant cuffs.
Dude, cliff notes right there, man.
Yeah, take notes. Yeah, those are pretty standard options. You could probably find them off the rack, but you don't get the same fabric.
Fabric.
The fabric's the most important part.
Yeah. Have you ever bought like a really bad suit before?
Yeah, so I've gone to H&M and I've bought some suits before back in the day.
Yeah.
Is it not focusing?
It's trying. Hold on. Cool. Yeah. So you're saying before my camera wasn't focusing?
Oh yeah. So I've bought H&M suits before, and like suit pants, suit jackets.
Yeah.
The thing with them is that it's a lot of polyester.
Yeah.
And polyester usually per square meter is really cheap compared to wool.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of these off the rack options, these very cost effective options, are made out of polyester.
Yeah.
The only issue is that it's not as stretchy and it doesn't feel as what's the word I'm looking for? It's very restrictive with airflow.
Yeah.
So you get a lot sweatier, and it builds up heat between the fabric and your skin. So you get a lot sweatier with polyester than you would with something that's made out of cotton or wool.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, so I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and write those options down, and then
Okay.
that's basically it.
Cool. Quick question, man. How do you, like, once you get your suit and all that, once it's made, how do you go about caring for it? Because, like, I don't know, people like me were never taught to learn how to care for a suit and stuff.
Yeah, so most of the time you would just take it to your dry cleaners. They would be able to clean your suit and be able to handle it a lot more than how you would, because they have the machinery and they have the equipment to sort of clean it without damaging it.
Gotcha. Yeah. And what's the rule of thumb for like cleaning it as well? Is it like every event, every other event, or is it time based?
So usually the main issue that I see with suits is that it gathers lint. So just having a good lint brush and like a steamer at home to get out those wrinkles. I wouldn't iron press any suits, but if you have a steamer to sort of just, you know, press it against the wrinkles to get rid of them,
yeah,
that would be really ideal to have at home, or maybe a lint brush as well.
Yeah. So steaming is okay for like wool and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So Hung, if people want to find you and have them kind of do measurements, where can they find you, man?
So they can actually find me on Instagram at stylehungry_ca.
Okay.
And cool. I also have a website, www.stylehungryic.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Hung, for this.
Yeah, no
problem. Can't wait to see the final thing.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.